welcome back to Gaeil this evening to our programme, the Green Flag. Back at the clubhouse here in Killeen, my name is Denis Sugrue and I'll be hosting this evening's show, where we have chats, news, information and anything to do with the general Gaeil community. We hope you enjoyed our last two shows as much as we enjoyed making them. And if you have thoughts on these shows, please leave a comment. Joining me today is Mark Bourke, trainer of the men's senior team. Hello Mark, how are you? Mark has trained a number of teams in the Gaeil from under sixes up to minor. Mark cut his teeth playing in New York in Gaelic Park. Mark also trained teams with the IT, now the MTU, Kerry Ladies, and had great success with St. Simon's. Beside Mark is Donal Rooney. Hello Donal, how are you? Former trainer of the Gaeil senior team and is currently training Churchill and St. Brendan's divisional team. Donal in his spare time is an avid golfer and often represented Tralee Golf Club at competition. Donal started training teams with Jack O'Connor as part of the Tralee Tech League and had great success with his school team, Gaeil Costello, winning the Moynihan Cup. Played in the team that won the Novice Championship that started our great journey, and as a trainer-manager brought the Gaeil up through the divisions, culminating in an All-Ireland Junior win in 2020. Welcome gentlemen, and both of you managed to rack up some prestigious awards. That's just with the Gaeil. The club is very happy, very lucky to have such homegrown talent. Before we join our guests, I'll just have a few results of games over the weekend and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Gentlemen, how are you? By the time this show goes out, Churchill will have played Crokesby, I think, Donal, and the Gaeil would have been facing Climplow in South Kerry, Mark. Donal, can I go to you first? Division 3, as we well know in this club, can be a very tough place, you know, to try and survive sometimes. What would your hopes be for Churchill in Division 3 this year?
Look, I suppose like any manager starting out, you want to achieve the best, so you want to win the division, and after that you want to try and gain promotion and so on forth. So look, I suppose going with Churchill, I suppose this year there's quite a few players established players within their group who have left the panel for different reasons, and but there's a good core group there, so there's good numbers, there's good attitude within the group, and you know, very hopeful at this stage is that we'll have a successful season.
Yeah, they were quite good at minor as well last year.
Yeah, there's a good group of young fellas coming up. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What do you find the difference between training in Gaeil, we'll say for instance St. Brendan's, and training a Division 3 team like Churchill? Apart from where it actually...
Yeah, look, I suppose, you know, when I trained in Gaeil, it was my first job at senior level, and you were sort of going in there trying to manage and train players you would have played with and been friendly with, and in some cases very good friends with, and then having to make tough decisions along the line there. I suppose you'd be far more emotionally involved in those decisions, as the lads will no doubt tell me and slag me about. Whereas I suppose with the Brendans, then again, you had a Gaeil element last year to that, obviously a fairly big element within the group. So again, you know, I suppose that was just an extension of where we were as a group with Gaeil. Really, that's what I sort of saw it as. Whereas going into Churchill this year then was, I suppose, totally different. Really, you're going into a group who certainly may not have liked me looking at me from the sideline, looking at when I was managing the Gaeil, and I may have looked at a few of them boys, you know, when they were our rivals in a different light. But there's barriers there to be broken down, certainly for the first few sessions. And look, I think we've had a few months under our belt now, and I think those barriers are being broken down. So no, look, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, to be honest.
You probably got to know them as well over the years, because we were around there, you know, between St. Brendan's championships, leagues. Yeah. Playing against them in Division 2 or 3.
Oh, we've had plenty of battles with them, and
and like you got to know the Gaeil players personally, like, you know, and it is. I would imagine it probably was strange for you to all of a sudden you didn't know these guys.
No, and that's it. Look, that first meeting you walk in and there's a new group and there's half of them you don't know from Adam, and the other half of them you would know them, but you wouldn't know them personally, and they're judging everything you say and seeing how, you know, they're assessing everything you do and trying to see, look, is this fella really for us and what? So look, it's a strange enough process at the start, but it's something now that, look, I sort of see it as managing any other team now at this stage, and it's look, as I say, I'm happy out and it's going quite well for now.
They're treating you well anyway.
They are for now anyway.
Thank you very much, Donal. And now we'll take a very short break just to have a look at the lotto results. Thank you. welcome back. Following our great success and promotion up to senior status this year, Mark, if you don't mind, I'll ask you this. What do you see as the challenges to maintaining our senior status? There must be a challenge, it must be a challenging thing to maintain what we've already achieved.
Yeah, I think the most important thing for any club in the county, and they'll say the same thing, is to get the minors into the senior team, integrated into the senior team, whether it's quickly or whether it's not. We've been very lucky. We had a very good minor team 2 years ago, and I think we got 8 or 9 players from that. And they had experience at Division 1, so they came in at a higher level than maybe players previously. They integrated very fastly, and as I think everyone knows, with the success last year, it was there was 5 or 6 of those players that were on that winning teams. Of course, saying that, the downside of that is there was some more seasoned players that did campaigns over the last 10 years that just pulled back a small bit this year. So it's really about blending in the new players as quickly as possible, but it's also about keeping the players fresh. It's very important. Last year, I think during COVID, May or June, they didn't start, but we're starting now in February or whatever it was, February, start to March. But we'll be going till at least September, October. So it's very important to keep the panel fresh, to keep the training fresh, to keep the voices fresh as much as possible. And I guess the third thing to say about, well, with our club anyway, it's a dual club now nearly at this stage. We're feeding off 3 hurling clubs, and so it's massively important to have those players enjoy their hurling and enjoy their football. So it's about coming to agreement with those hurling clubs for them to enjoy their sport as well. Yeah. So because they are very important to us, but they're equally important to their hurling clubs. Yeah. So look, we'll try and work out the logistics of that as we go through. But
it can be easy, actually, when I think about it now. It can be easy to blood in with, say, a new raw young minor who all of a sudden is playing Division 1 football, whereas a few years ago we'd been blooding a minor maybe playing Division 3 or Division 4. Division 1 surely is a bigger mark to try.
Well, we'll be Division 2 this year in the County League, but the thing is that I think, and Donny might say this as well, is that the quality of the players at Division 2 is much higher, and Division 3 and Division 4 it's a bit tougher. It's a bit tougher. Now, 1 and 2 is not easy either, but there's a lot of quality there. You can see a lot of quality, and there's a lot of so the new players that come in will be exposed to this in a better way. It'll just make them a better player overall, I think.
Now, I'll throw this out to both of you lads, actually. Fitness and strength, conditioning, diet, all those things are extremely important. But we rarely talk about technology, and what technology are teams using now to achieve these results? Like last year when Stefan O'Cumber came home on holidays from Australia, he wore a ring that monitors his activities and things like that. These are incredible kind of technological advances we see now. What kind of technological advancements would you know about? Including gymnasiums, including anything because years ago when we played football, there was no technology. The technology was the ball, and that was it really. That's all you came to training like. Does technology have a place to play in modern football?
Well, I think you can get bogged down in it. I think it's a simple game. You can go as far as you want with it. But obviously, Donny has his own setup. I have my own setup. I mean, it's very simple just to keep the basic stats at the very minimum, I guess. Video the games. And just look at very simple things like that, and look at the tape, and you'll be able to show players, this, that, and the other. But I saw a stat there, a game preparation from another team there from a few years ago, and it was 18 pages long. Wow. This is in preparation of playing an opposition game. And
we talk about the opposition players.
Yeah, you're talking about the opposition, and it was 18 pages, and it had all the stats.
They're likely to make substitutions.
Everything about it, and it was just ridiculous. And this is an amateur sport, and I wouldn't get too bogged down in it. But there is huge advancements in technology. I mean, if you look at the Sunday game.
Yeah, sorry. Have you seen this at schools football even?
At schools.
Because we all know schools football is taken very seriously.
Yeah, it would be, again, look, it'd be similar along the same sort of lines there as Mark is saying with stats and stuff like that, and there would be, you know, there's people, it's people's businesses now. There are people who run businesses with doing videos, doing stats on GAA matches, and that's their full-time job. I suppose another side of it, we brought it in there last year with the lads that we managed to get access to GPS systems for a couple of months. Again, as Mark says, you know, it's a simple enough game and keep it as simple as you can. But I suppose in that time, it was just a good tool that we used for a few months during championship. That, you know, told us different aspects of the lads' play, and it sort of showed them, opened their eyes to different aspects of play as well, about how hard they run, different occasions, what effects tiredness basically has on them during the game, and things like that. So look, these can all just be added as little tools to make the players better. But at the end of the day, if they can't run and tackle and kick the ball over the bar, you're not going to go very far anyway.
Thanks. I'm going to throw this open to the two of you as well. Two of you are successful trainers, young men. You know, and I know you probably want to achieve even more. Like, you know, and I'm not going to turn around and ask you, do you want to do the Kerry job, each of you? But what started you on your road when you decided, you know, at some stage? You know, I know you can be led into it as well, like, you know. But what influenced you to become coaches? And mindful of the fact you probably, I know for a fact you, Mark, started at under sixes. You started with under sixes as well. Like, you know, I remember you being down here with George Maloney many years ago, Mark. And, you know, it was a fantastic, and I always thought myself that's when things started to turn, because you're coaching just a little bit longer than Donal, right? But what influenced you to get into coaching?
I suppose for me it was nearly my profession in that I'm a teacher, and at 22 I went teaching in a school up in Dublin, and I suppose as a Kerry man who played a bit of football up in Dublin at the time when we were very successful as Kerry footballers, it was automatic, you're given a team and that's it, you're out, you're coaching a team. So I suppose I was 5 years doing that, and I came back down then. I got involved with, again, one or two of the underage teams in the club here, and yeah, done, you know, schools teams, Kerry colleges or Kerry vocational schools, things like that, and then obviously eventually it sort of snowballs to where we are now.
Yeah, might I add, by the way, to the viewers that Donal was training the under-7s last Sunday morning.
Yes, so yeah, up and down, yes.
Mark, I'll throw the same question out to you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you got your facts wrong, actually, Dennis. I was actually with Ned O'Neill with under-16s in 2004. Wow, so really yeah, so I was 3 years with him before I even went on to the under-6s. But I'd have to credit Seamus Moriarty for that, in fairness. He called up to the house, we were just back from America, and he called up to the house, and he looked, he said they were stuck. He was the Board and Oak chairman at the time, and, you know, I mean, every club is the same. They're crying out for coaches, and they're crying out for people willing to help. And of course, how could you say no to Seamus Moriarty, you know? An absolute legend. So, you know, God, I did it, and then, of course, so we did it from there on anyway. So look, it is what it is, and I suppose some of the boys will hate you for it, and some of the boys will love you for it. But you'll try and do your best for them, and, you know, look, hopefully, you know, over the years they'll appreciate it. Actually do anything for them. Yeah, I mean, look, you know, you'll try. You know, there's no, you know, that's what you'll do. You know.
Yeah. Thanks, lad. Thanks very much. Now, and which makes you heroes, by the way, because we're now going to go to a section.
Good evening. Now tell us your name.
Ciara Murphy.
And where are you from, Ciara?
I'm from Waterford City.
And what's your occupation?
I'm a civil servant based in the National Shared Services Office in Clarny.
And what's your history with the Gaeil?
I moved to Coolfinna a couple of years ago, and I was looking to pick up a hobby, and I heard about Gaeil football, and I started playing Gaeil about 3 years ago.
All right, and have you any other connections with the Gaeil?
My partner Brian O'Shea also used to play for Gaeil, and we're going to be getting married now in May.
Fantastic. That's great news. And have you any wishes for the future for the Gaeil?
I'd love to go on and see the ladies and the men's teams both win senior championships in the future.
Thank you, Ciara.
Thank you.
Good Good morning. Now tell me your name.
Good morning, Dennis. My name is Shane Moriarty.
And where are you from, Shane?
Dennis, originally from Laurel Court, but living in Racecourse Road for the last 15 years.
And what's your occupation?
I'm a civil engineer with Kerry County Council, so currently working on the Greenway projects in the county.
And what is your history with the Gaeil?
My history with the Gaeil, I'm currently an under-7s coach, so doing that now for the last 2 years and enjoying the role, meeting new parents and new friends.
Excellent. And what would you like to see for the future?
I'd like to see my eldest Evan progressing up through the ranks and getting my other son Owen on board when he's of age, and again progressing up through the club. It's a great facility, and meeting every Sunday morning. The kids enjoy it, and they meet friends not only here, but their school friends are coming as well, so it's great to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Now tell us your name.
My name is Declan Costello.
And where are you from, Declan?
I'm from Bateman's Green and originally from Castlemaine.
And what's your occupation?
I'm a director of AM Costello Kerry Limited construction company.
And what's your history with the Gaeil?
We've lived in the area for the last 20 years, and my 3 kids would have played here since they were from 6 years on.
Very good. And what would you like to see for the future for the club?
I would like to see Jackie develop the pub grub and bring back the pizzas.
Fantastic. We'll all mention that. Thank you, Declan.
Thanks, Dennis.
Hello, and thanks for watching today's show, and thank you, Mark, and thank you, Donal. Thank you very much for coming this evening. Tune in again next week, but there's a special show, Costello, and the full notes are available on the local newspapers and publications and on our website, gaeil.ie, Facebook and Instagram. But don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And don't forget to be a hero. Just get involved. Thank you very much.